Hi, I'm Despa. You're watching be83, and this is another episode of Meet the Artists. And today, on Meet the Artists, I have one of my homies, Raider of StayFresh. What's going on, bro?
On, bro.
Yeah, nice to have you over here. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Just out here working, getting some stuff done. Decided to get you down and ask you some questions and everything.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course.
What's been going on with Raider lately?
Well, been quite active lately. I put out. I shot a video last night for a song I got coming out called Midlands Monster, which a lot of people should know about. I've been promoting it for a while still, but I shot 3 videos which I put out in the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
For a CD, Work Harder Volume 2.
Okay.
Which that come out. It was the 7th of August 7th, I think, or September 7th. But basically, I shot 3 videos. I put them out at the end of each week. And on the 3rd week, I released a CD with the last video, Work Harder Volume 2. Mm-hmm. So that's out now. You can get that from soundcloud.com/Raider StayFresh.
And what are the videos called? Where can they see the videos?
I've got one on P110. That's called Shadow Boxing. The second one was with JDZ Media. That's called Barley Mo. And the third one is on Link Up TV. That's called Oats and Egg Whites.
Okay. So they seem to be all like gym themed.
No, they're just random names, you know, like with my freestyles and stuff, like instead of just saying like freestyle, I just decided, because like at the end of the day it's still a piece of music, you know what I mean, so it needs a proper title, even though it's not like a structured song. I just like to give them names, and sometimes I'll just give them a name like Barley Mo. I was sitting in the pub with Jay, and the pub was called Barley Mo. That was the day I shot the video, so I just said I'll just call it Barley Mo, you know what I mean. I just like to give them peculiar interesting names. The people ain't gonna forget them, you know what I mean.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna come back to some present stuff and some future stuff in a bit. I wanna introduce your fans to a bit of Raider history. Yeah. Because I know you got a lot of fans out there. Raider does get the views in, so I want to talk about how you got started musically, particularly with StayFresh. Now I know the history, obviously, but how did
from StayFresh or from the very beginning?
Start from how you even got started.
Well, it was just one of them things. I was in school. I was like 15, I think I was in like year 10. And it's just one of them things, like everyone just wants to be an MC, don't they? Everyone's on the playground, spitting bars, and I just ended up like, at first, like it was about 4 of my friends, they were spitting bars, and I'm like, spit man, you got bars, write some bars. I was like, nah, like I'll watch you man do what you're doing, but I'm not really interested, you know what I mean? And then one day I went home, I think I wrote like one 8-bar, and I kept it for about 3 weeks, and I ain't spitting in front of these man, you know what I'm saying? And then one day I was on the playground and I just spat it, and everyone was like, rah. And it was just from there, I was just writing. Just started from there, really.
And how old were you then?
I was about 15.
About 15?
Yeah, 14, 15. But them times it wasn't like, I wasn't looking at like I want to be a musician. Like, I wasn't like going studio and stuff. I used to just write rubbish and spit it at school, you know what I mean? But then it was like, then we made a little school crew, like everyone does.
What's your school crew name?
What did we call it? Deadly Alliance or something stupid like that. Yeah, Deadly Alliance it was.
Sounds like a sniper. Anyway, go on.
And then like at the time there was like, because I used to roll with like Mena from back in the day, from like when we was like 11.
Really?
And yeah, from when we was like 11. Say again?
I didn't even know this.
Yeah, from when we was like 11. And then, because one of my friends from school used to live next door to Mena. Yeah. And then he was like, this is my brother Mena Rare is an MC, and then me and Mena used to roll. And then Mena started spitting. He joined Younger Stakes first, and like he used to, all these bookings I used to go there with him, and I was like, right,
so he was one of my youngers, because I was in Higher Stakes at the time.
Yeah, like even at that dance at Shakers, the D-double rave, I was there with Mena, and Mena was spitting in that.
I want to talk about that in a second.
Then he joined TYG and stuff, and then like I started spitting, and I had my people at school and that, but like I used to spit with Mena as well sometimes. But then Moves was in Younger Stakes as well. Yeah. And they made their little side thing called Outlaws, and it was like, we want to get some of the youngest from the ends to come and spit with us. So there was me, my brother Breezer from school, like we linked up with Skips and Moves and that. And then there was J1, there was Hectic, Skips' little brother Gecko, and then that, like we had our little thing called Outlaws as well. And then but at the time there was Outlaws, TYG, TNG, Younger Stakes, Higher Stakes. From there, because I said I used to chat to Mena and that. Mena introduced me to Dread and says they want to start this StayFresh thing. Obviously, you like had it going on from before, and you like wanted to like bring it back and stuff. And obviously that's when I met Jamie Dread and that, and then that's when it all started with StayFresh.
So that's how the StayFresh connection came about from there. And obviously, as people would know, if you're a StayFresh fan, J1 and Muse from Outlaws then ended up coming over to StayFresh as well.
Yeah, because like Maka was like, who's good from Wolves, man? We want to get people from Wolves, like from all different parts of Wolves. And I was like, I was just trying to get all my boys in. I used to speak with, I was like Moves, J1, and then obviously them man coming from there.
So that was what? That was 2008.
2008. That was
2008. You kind of rocketed onto the scene with the track Radiant Full. Which caused, I remember, a madness, and I know because I shot the video, but still, a little plug there, but still, like, when that came out, I remember the response from that was crazy.
Bro. It was ridiculous, bro.
How did you feel around them times? Because, I mean, I know you went from, because I'll be honest, I think I had one song with you, with Mena from before, that was on that Wiz Khalifa beat that you did at, I think it was at Word and Road Studios back in the day, but I didn't even remember that was you when I heard Raining Fall. I didn't remember that was you, bruv. So, like, when that came out in 2009, and the response went from you kind of almost being a nobody to how did that feel around then?
It was just mad because obviously I wanted to be big and stuff. I was trying to get big, but I didn't think it was gonna, because it basically happened overnight, really. Literally overnight, and it was just mad. Like obviously everyone's like, who's this guy? It was all over. Was it Grime Forum, the video, that sticky notes or whatever, where it's like the top video? Like I didn't even know what these websites was. You know what I mean? And it was just everywhere. It went mad, man.
Because you had Facebook going nuts.
That was even pre-YouTube. Put it on YouTube. It was on Facebook. That's
the thing. A lot of people they'll be like, "What? You didn't put it on YouTube?" But we didn't. We had a YouTube then, but it was like we didn't even bother putting it on YouTube.
This is what people need to understand. You know, the whole YouTube thing really. Well, in the Midlands, it started from us, like that video. Because people wasn't doing YouTube videos and media channels like that then.
Nah, that's true.
We was putting the videos on Facebook. You know what I mean?
And then it was like,
and that's what started it all.
May as well just put it on YouTube as well, trying to get more views in there so other people can see.
How long was it on Facebook before it even went on YouTube?
A good month or two, I think.
And the views were still going nuts when it went on YouTube.
And people, because everybody else could see it, because I think everybody had heard about it. But so it went from like you kind of jumped on the scene from there. I'm imagining the gas levels must have gone up a little bit.
It was mad, man. I can't really remember like everything that was going on at the time, but I know it went mad. It blew up. That was like, I think that came out in June. Yeah, it came out in June. I was sitting in my house. And I was sitting with someone who's from, I think it was my brethren from Leicester. And we're sitting there. And one of his people from Leicester phoned him and like, my man, I just seen my man on YouTube, your brethren. And I was like, your brethren said that to you from Leicester?
And that's got to be mad,
that video had been out about half an hour. You know what I mean? It's weird, man. It was
that quick, like literally half an hour?
Yeah. Because I remember I didn't even know it come out, I don't think. They phoned me.
No, I just put it out, I didn't tell nobody.
Because when we shot, he says to me, it should be out in about a week. And then I was sitting in my house the next day. And he goes, I heard him on the phone saying, rare. I'm saying, huh? Gone onto my YouTube now and he was out. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, been about half an hour. It's just everywhere, you know what I mean? It was mad.
I tagged about, I don't know, when you could tag about 100 people, so I know I tagged lots of people in that. So we've gone from 2009, Raining Falls come out, you've literally got a fan base overnight. What happens after that? Like, how did things go from there?
I don't think I even put any music out after that, like by myself. The next thing that come out was that 16 for 16 video, which came out at the end of the year. Because obviously, like the way that come out, I wasn't prepared for that. Like, I didn't even know anything about music then, like to capitalize on it or anything. Like, I didn't have a clue what I was doing really. I was good, but I didn't know about music business or strategies, that kind of stuff. So it just come out, and I was just like, rah. I was riding it, to be honest. I was just riding it, you get me? But I don't think I put anything out immediately after that. Next thing I was on was the 16 for 16 video, and that went mad as well.
That kicked off the StayFresh wave. I remember that was a real big video for us back then. I want to know more about the way you approach music, because a lot of people, and even I thought this sometimes, is like Raider seems so laid back. You know, sometimes it feels like, well, he could probably go harder than he does, or da. I want people to understand, like, how do you approach music? How do you write songs, or know what I'm saying? What's your approach when you go in the studio, when you attack a set, like what?
Yeah, well, it's just the way I'm with music is the way I'm in real life. Like, I'm not like, when I spit, I'm laid back and calm and stuff, and then I don't come out the booth and then start acting like a maniac, you know what I mean? That's just the way I am as a person. So I'm not going to be this kind of person and then try and be something different when I MC. And I've always been like that. Like, I've been loads of times, I've been in studios with engineers and they're like, no, you can't spit like that, man, you can't spit like that, you need to spit like this, and like, you know, more energy and whatever. I can understand what they're saying, but this is the way I spit.
Yeah.
And this is what works for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It obviously does, because people like it. I have a fan base, you know what I mean? So that's just how I've always been. People have been like, nah, you need to like change the way you spit and that. And like before, I used to like take on what they say, and like I didn't really know whether to take on what they say or to carry on how I'm doing things the way I do it. But like, I know what works for me now. Like, I know I don't need to listen to anyone else now, you know what I mean? I know what works for me, so this is the way I spit, and that's the way I'm going to carry on spitting.
How do you approach songwriting, and how do you write your lyrics? Because I'll be honest, like, I hear you say something sometimes and I'll be like, how did you think of that? Like, I wouldn't think of something like that. And even somebody the other day was like, I was speaking to Sean from Grimeblog, and he was like, Raider's got like his own style of music, like trap grime, like the way you talk about trapping or whatever. And grime is like the way some hip hop artists do. So I want to know how you approach your songwriting. How do you do it?
I don't even write lyrics at all. I think the last time I wrote a lyric was like 2008.
I haven't written anything down.
Nah, like I don't sit down and say, all right, then I need to make a song, and I need to talk about this. Like, I just let it happen. Like, I'll be driving or I'll just be chilling or whatever, and I'll start thinking about things and it'll just come into my head. Yeah. And I'll either like work on it from there, or I'll just remember it, and when I go home, then I'll just put bits and bobs together from there. But sometimes, like, I can write a song and it'll take me like, because like I'll be sitting in the studio with man, and man will write a verse or even a song in like half an hour. Like, I can't do that. Like, sometimes it could take me like 3 weeks to do one verse. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, I'll just try not to force it, you know what I mean? I'll just, whatever comes into my head, I'll just let it come out. If it's not coming out, it's not coming out. You know what I mean? But when it comes out perfect. I have to make sure it comes out perfect, down to the words. Every word has to be in the right place, in the right way. That's why sometimes like people get angry with me in the studio, like, why haven't you written your verse? Especially people like Macca. Yeah, you know what I mean? I thought that a few times when there's a gap left for you. But I understand it though, because like I'll speak to Jamie Dredd the other day, and he's saying like, if you're in the studio, like say you have a big producer or something, they're not waiting for you for a certain amount of time. You're in there to do a job. And I understand that, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, like, if I don't think my verse is right, I'm not going to rush it, because it's my work, you know what I mean? So if it takes long, it takes long. Well, yeah, that's just how I approach it. Like, whatever I'm feeling, whatever just comes into my head, I'll just capitalise on it from there. And how do you remember it? I mean, I don't write lyrics myself, so it's like, how do you just conceptualise something like that in your head, and then just remember it? Do you ever lose lyrics in your brain sometimes? Yeah, loads of times, and then like, one day I'll just remember them again, but I'll remember like 2 bars. And it'll rack my brain for hours, like the rest of the bar, and I won't remember it. But I don't know. I've just like I remember most things, like everyone's phone number, like all like everyone in the team's phone number. I haven't got them saved. I just know them all. So you got my number. Yeah. Okay, well, no, I haven't got yours. I had your old one. I haven't got your new one. I've got Jay's. Cool. But so like, you've got a good. Like, I don't not write lyrics on purpose to try and show off or anything. It's just the way I feel comfortable. Like, if I think if I wrote a lyric, I don't think it would come out as good as if I just, because like the way I see it, like if you say there's someone else's song, like you listen to their song enough, you'll remember their lyrics. True. Without writing them down. True. And that's how I do it. Like, I'll say like 2 bars over and over again for about half an hour. I'm not going to forget them then. Yeah. And then I'll write another 2, another 2, and it just sticks in my head, really. So, what would you say your style of music is? Like, how would you describe Raider? Because I know a lot of people like, where does Raider fit? Who is Raider? Like, I don't know. Like, one thing I don't want to categorize it as grime. That's one thing I don't want to do, because like at the minute, like I like grime music, but the way it is at the minute, like I don't really want to be a part of it, you know what I mean? The whole image of it and that. Why? Because I don't know, I just don't like it. Alright then, like, say for example, I don't like, say someone in my family, like one of my old aunties or something was to say, so what do you do? And I showed them, I said, well, this ain't my video, but this is what I do, and I put on someone else's video. You see, like, you might see 20 guys with hoods on and gloves on, and like, you know, and I say, oh, this is what I do, and like to people who don't understand grime, they'll be looking at it like, this is just goons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And obviously I know it isn't, because I'm from this kind of culture, you know what I mean? But
so
to other people, like, they won't look at that as professional music, you know what I mean? And that's just the way some people will look at it.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way it is, you know what I mean? So like, I just try and I don't know, present myself more professional. Like there's people that are professional and they're grime artists, but like some videos and stuff, other people who don't understand grime will look at it and be like, I don't even want. All right, then for example, the other day someone says to me, are you an MC? And I says, what? Why are you saying it like that? They goes, you're a bit old to be doing that now, aren't you? And I'm like, what do you mean?
Okay.
And like, obviously, because some people look at MCs like just
like kids, kinda,
like it's a kids kind of thing,
because
they don't understand the music and that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? So I don't know, but
so would you say like the reason you kind of feel like, you know, reluctant to say is it, do you feel like grime's got kind of like an image problem? Like
that's what I think it is. Like, I love the music and stuff, but I just like try and portray myself differently, not because I look down on it, just because I want other people who aren't really familiar with it to not look at me that way, because that's just how some people are, you know what I mean? That's just the way of the world. So
so who is Raider?
Raider's just, I'm just me, you know what I mean? I'm just a normal guy from Wolverhampton. So, just trying to push my talent, you know what I mean? Like really at the moment, no one hasn't really heard no music from a deep level from me. They've just heard well, they know what they've heard, but I've got a load of stuff that people haven't heard. Like, even my family says to me, the music you're putting out, you need to put out something that can go on the radio and stuff. And I'm like, listen, you don't understand what I've got in my catalogue, you know what I mean? I've got loads of stuff that you don't even know about. But like, that's why at the moment I'm just itching to get that kind of stuff out so people know me on a deeper level. You know what I mean?
That's something that obviously that's important for you to people.
Because that's the whole point of it. You want people to know your story and your personality. That's the whole point of making the music, really. Yeah.
Well, talk about personality. I got a question for you, and I did say I was going to ask you this. More so when I'm on YouTube, and if I go on YouTube and I'm watching the Raider video, there'll always be a comment that goes along the lines of, Raider's arrogant, Raider thinks he's this, Raider thinks he's that. A lot of people have even told me, you seem like, Raider guy just seems arrogant, man. Like,
to be honest, bro, I don't even know where people get that from. To be honest, I don't understand, because like, I watch some YouTube videos of other people and they're giving it the big one, you know what I mean? Like, they really think they're the shit. I don't go on like that. I just keep myself to myself and just. I don't really understand why people say that, to be honest, but everyone's got their opinion. I can't. If it's not going to change, it's not going to change, you know what I mean? Like, I don't talk bad to anyone, or you know, I don't disrespect people when I talk to them. And I don't go on the camera all cocky and bossy and that kind of stuff. So I don't know where people get that from, but everyone's got their opinion in it, so it's just the way it is.
What inspires you to make music?
I don't really know, you know. Like, I don't like listen to other people and get inspired. It's just, I don't know. I think like, because how long I've been doing it now, and especially like to the point I've got to, I just feel like I've got no choice but to carry on now. Because at the point I've reached, if I stop now, I'll just be a failure, you know what I mean? And being a failure is something I can't do. So that's probably the biggest inspiration, like, not letting myself down and not looking like the guy like, oh, you used to be big fan, what happened? You know that kind of thing. Like, that's the one thing I can't let happen. So that's probably the one thing that just drives me to carry on and know that I've got no choice, really. I have to make a success of it.
You've got to a point that it's really like, going back, you may as well see it all the way through. Okay, so that takes us to seeing it through. So let's talk about, obviously you put out Work Harder Volume 2. What you got next?
Mike Tyson will be the next project. I don't really want to call it an album, but I don't want to call it a mixtape to make it sound like it's not something serious. So I just says, I'll just like call it a street album for the streets. You know what I mean? And it's going to be, like I said, I shot a video for it last night, or the first part of a video for it last night. I'm going to shoot it again tomorrow morning. That's Midlands Monster. That should be out by the time this is out. Hopefully, if not, it will be around this time. I'm going to try and put it out around Halloween times. Then I'm going to try and drop another single. Well, not another single, another tune off the video late November. And then late December as well, put out a third video. And then hopefully get the CD out around Christmas times. And then probably put out 1 or 2 videos after to keep up the promotion. And then, but it's going to be like, it's not it's just hard. It's just hard hitting. That's why I've called it Mike Tyson, because it's just hard hitting bangers. You know what I mean? Aggressive stuff. I don't really, at this point, I don't really want to like get deep with my music, because I don't think I'm at that point yet.
Yeah.
To cross over. Like, I still want to just do my hard stuff. And obviously after that, I'll be putting out music that's more, topical and where you learn more about me and that kind of stuff. I just don't think I'm at that point at the moment to do that. I don't think I'm ready for that yet. Well, I might be ready for it, but I don't feel like I am.
You don't feel like you want
So,
to take that step.
Yeah. I don't want people to look at me like, oh, you've gone hard and now you're just trying to like move over to pick. I still want to like give people what they want and what the kind of music I want to make anyway.
Yeah. So, regarding giving people what they want, I get questions. I get people at me. We're kind of approaching Lord of the Mic season. Are we gonna see Raider on Lord of the Mics taking somebody's head off?
Nah. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Nah.
Just because I don't know. I just don't want to clash people. Like, I watch Lord of the Mics. Like, I like watching it. I don't think it's for me. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, oh, you need to do it. But I just don't feel to do it. And like, no disrespect to Lord of the Mics, but I don't want it to look like I've tried to use them to get big. You know what I mean? Even though it's a good place for a platform and stuff. But I don't know. It's just not for me. My mind might change closer to the day. I don't know. But I just clashing, like, I just don't find no interest in it to do it myself. I like watching people clash and stuff, but I don't know. I don't really want to do it myself.
So you're not going to be the next StayFresh person to go down and take somebody's head off in the dungeon?
Everyone's trying to like peer pressure me into it.
I'm just wondering.
I know people want it, and it's something like I know people would want to see it, but like at this point, I just don't feel like I want to do it. Not because I think I'm too nice for it or anything, because I've heard people say that kind of stuff before. Like the last Lord of the Mics before, I think it was the first one actually. The first one that one of us went on, when J1 went on. People saying, oh, you like think you're too nice to go and do Lord of the Mics. It's nothing like that. It's just like, I don't have to want to do it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like at the moment, I don't feel to do it, but my mind could change. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm disappointed anyway. Not disappointed in you, but you know what? Like I said, I'd personally like to see you do that to somebody, but that's how it goes. We've been doing this music thing, as in the new StayFresh and where it is now, since about 2008, 2009. Like, and when we did start doing it, there was, as you mentioned, there was very little about. There was no YouTube channels. There was no whatever. Like, how do you think things have progressed since then? I mean, I've been asking this question to a lot of people, and how do you think the scene's doing? What do you think it needs? Where do you want to see it go? Like, you know.
No, I think like definitely now, with all the YouTube, because like YouTube's the thing now, isn't it?
Yeah,
music,
yeah.
Like like I said, since we put out that video, I think that's what kicked off everything. But it's good now because like, if you got a talent, because there's media channels everywhere now, like Midlands, London, like media channels everywhere really. So like people that before probably didn't have a voice, they were talented but didn't have a voice, they can showcase themselves now, you know what I mean? But the only thing I think about it is now, like, there's people that ain't taking music serious, and they're just like, they'll do a video because, I don't know, like I see people doing videos and they're just showing loads of money and cars and that kind of stuff just to like have a 5 minutes of fame to say, oh, look at my video, rare. That's the only thing I don't like. There's a load of people doing that with, like, because it's easy access now. Anyone can do a video on a media channel, so it's not just talented people, it's people that are just doing it for the sake of it, you know what I mean? But like I said, there's loads of channels, so talented people, it's easier for them now to come through. Like before, because I'm from Wolverhampton, like before, like I said, I was like 16, all the guys that I used to spit with, one of them said, I can't be asked for this no more, like, we ain't from London, we ain't gonna get nowhere, so there's no point, you know what I mean?
That's really how it felt back then as well.
That is how it felt, but like now,
true, you know?
But now, you don't have to be from London, you know what I mean? Like, there's a scene in Birmingham now, there's a scene in the Midlands, and there's channels everywhere. Like, you can go on YouTube, and if you're good, you'll get noticed, you know what I mean? You don't just, it's not like you're not from London, so you're not part of the mix. You can create your own thing wherever you are, you know what I mean? So it's good, so it's healthy, and it can only progress really. Like, there's people, there's producers, there's cameramen, there's something for everyone to do, you know what I mean? You don't just have to be a spitter. Like, you got P1 Mano that are doing big now, you got Jamal Edwards obviously, so there's something for everyone really, and you can make something out of it, so yeah, it's good, man.
Final question: where do you see yourself in 3, 5, 10 years in the future, where do you see Raider?
Hopefully I want to be at a point where I'm like established across the country.
Yeah.
Maybe like by that time I want to have my music charting. Not saying like I want to change my music to the typical chart music, but I want to be able to be at a position where, you know, when I put out music, it will chart, because I've created that bigger fan base, and I'm getting those kind of sales. I want to do a lot more shows. I want to try and put on a tour and stuff. And I just want like the whole of my team to, because like now, the whole, like everyone in StayFresh is talented, you know what I mean? But not everyone has been discovered then, or should I say? And I want to be at the point where everybody in the team is at the same level, because everyone's at the same level talent wise, but not everyone's been noticed yet. I just want the whole team to be on the same level. And yeah, it can only go good for us anyway, because we've got the talent, we've got the music. It's just about putting it out in the correct way, and just things will fall into place.
And just as a final thing, is there anything coming from StayFresh that anybody has to look out for?
We've got loads of music, bro. You know yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, well, How We Roll was the last video we shot. That's been on. That's had some radio spins. I don't know what's going on with that though. I think we're gonna shoot again. I think we're gonna shoot the second part to that. That should be the next single coming out, which will be off StayFresh EP2. The first StayFresh EP is out now, is on StayFreshDigital.com.
You can get it from iTunes. If they iTunes it, they'll find it.
But yes, StayFresh the EP2 should be 3, 4, and 5 with the amount of music we got. But yeah, How We Roll should be the next single coming out. That should be out probably sometime start of the year.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Raider, thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you, man.
All right, cool. That's another episode of Meet the Artists. Catch me next time on be83. Thanks.
I've done something with Mr. Hudson.
Okay, that's not been out yet, has it?
Nah, it's not been out yet.
Okay, is that going to be on one of your projects, his project, or what? And who's it produced by?
You look at it like, well, I look at it anyway, like, no way, like, number one, they get it, like, they understand you in it, because they relate and it fully relate.